Season 2 is going to be amazing for free-to-play. I think it's going to be the best season ever because we had those elements change. The combination of elements that we use, they switched over, and I firmly believe the new combination that we have right now is going to be by far the easiest. We're going to go over all those heroes. I'll put up the combinations, the new elements on the screen right now because I'm looking at Flame and Necrosis. We've got Poison and Lightning, and then we've got Radiant and Frost. Now I'm talking free to play, right? What's the best for free to play? Basically non-legendaries. Frost and Radiant, there's some good rares, there's some good epics, there's good rares and epics in Necrosis along with Flame, but there's nowhere near as amazing rares and epics that we have right now when it's going to go to Lightning and Poison. Because what do we do with all these bosses that we fight? All the bosses that we've already faced off against. We know what we need. We need to block buffs, we need to remove buffs, we need to decrease attack, heal block, and I think that's, for the most part, pretty much it, right? Remove buffs, block buffs, decrease attack, heal block, and then knock back the ultimate gauge if we're not, if we don't have our people scrolled, if they're not fast enough, if we don't have the gear to get that skill haste in there, we need somebody to knock back the ultimate gauge. And really with Poison, kind of whatever Poison would be associated with is going to probably be our best, but it is even crazier because we have people like Arena here that does AoE decrease attack, plus she removes a buff. AoE decrease attack, removing a buff with this attack, a lot of AoE damage, gives shields to allies around her. Super strong, and we used her for progression already. We've also used Enna to remove debuffs and give us heal over times. We used Grover to remove buffs. He steals them. We've got Jirana to remove buffs off the enemy. We've got a lot of good help here. What we don't have, though, is an amazing tank. Like, there's no great tank here. There's no great tank here, but Iola, decrease attack. We've got a whole bunch of control there. We've got Shoutar with amazing damage, which we just did a video on. We've got other people in here like Nathaniel, which is amazing support to remove a debuff, give us recovery over time, also give us shields. She can remove a shield, so that's good too. I didn't even remember that. This little lizard over here can actually remove a shield because we're going to face off against the one guy that puts up a shield whenever he hits us in Grave of Curse. We're going to face off against the same domain, so we're going to have the Frost domain. So being that we have Arena, a rare, being that we have Enna, a rare, and then all this other support here, even if you don't really have any of these epics, that's crazy to pair with somebody like Sigrid or Hexandra, along with Eli. If Eli has Witch's Remains, he does 3 hits. Each of those 3 hits, we get a chance to put up those decreased defense. If he has Witch's Remains, if we have the Crown, we could put him on the Crown as well. We'll just get that decreased defense up on one target. We've got Latalis. Latalis will knock back that ultimate gauge by 20% every 10 seconds. That's strong. It's strong enough that we can go in there, and if it's like an 18-second cooldown and we only have our guys at 20 seconds, we'll be able to knock it back enough that we won't have to worry about having skill haste on our heroes. Plus, he does decrease attack, and he does heal block in a diamond shape. Get those debuffs up for Sigrid. Those two together are just a great pair. So we have such a strong rare combination here, such a strong rare combination here. I just don't think that we're going to have any issues taking down any boss if we have a tank. That's our only problem. And obviously, if you have Furbath, it's a done deal. You bring in Furbath, decrease attack, all the heals around him, super tanky, and then all those guys I just talked about, there is no dungeon that we cannot overcome. If you're lucky enough to have somebody like Syphilis that can revive your whole entire team and give you heals on her battle skill, you're even better off. Or Vakuk to remove the debuffs, apply decrease attack on the boss. You got it made. There's nothing that we need to worry about. Etches can remove a debuff on your team. She can do some really cool stuff like block healing and make it so we don't take as much damage if there's debuffs up on the boss. The other poisoners, I'm not even concerned about because when we go fight these bosses, all we need to do is be able to survive, and we've got crazy survivability here, and then we need to be able to take care of whatever the mechanic is that we have to overcome. And that's always been decrease attack, heal block, removal of buffs, which we've got here with removing buffs in the rare category, taking away debuffs, which we've got here again in the rare category, removal of buffs. I mean, we've got it all made. The only thing I'm worried about is you guys might not have somebody that can tank for you. And Lydia is not a bad tank. She actually blocks control abilities and gives shields to the team. So if you have Lydia, I would still play this team with Lydia, because I don't know of any rare in here that's a real tank. There's not any that kind of good rare. There's a good rare in Flame that could be a good tank for us, but as far as, you know, poison, there's just not, you know, lightning, there's no real good tank rare wise. So I'm hoping you have Furbath. Furbath would always be the epic I would pick from an epic selector box, hands down, no matter what, because Sigrid is just that good. Hexandra's that good. Actually, all these guys, Latalis, Eli, they're all that good. So I would always, if I started a fresh game and they were like, you could have one rare, one epic, obviously Furbath, obviously Sigrid, and then I'm conquering the game. I'm going to need some help throughout, yes, but we've got that help. For me, this is what I'm going to focus on to do this as free to play. Season 2, free to play, all the dungeons, all with as many rares as we can do. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to bring in an epic for a tank, unless you can convince me that somebody else can tank for us in poison and lightning. And I don't think we have anybody else, honestly, that can tank with us. Hexandra can tank. So we will set up Hexandra like we've always done, and we will have her tank, but she cannot tank the Harpy. She can tank anything else, but she cannot tank the Harpy. Really, anything else she can, but that one, you have to have insane survivability, and now we're not going to have access to Horus. But if you have Gareth, he's actually really good for a tank. Decrease attack. Whenever he gets hit, he gets some of that life back if it's enough. It's not like he's an amazing tank. He's nowhere near the caliber of Furbath, but he is a tank nonetheless that will do the job. He'll get it done. So if I have to bring him in and show you a team with Furbath tanking and then him tanking and then Lydia tanking, I will do that, and we'll do it all with these rares as like a free-to-play comp to get through all the dungeons, to get you all the legendary gear, and then anything else we come up against, we'll try it out with them. Going through story mode, it's not going to be an issue, especially with this bad boy. So I hope you have Furbath. Let me know if you have him. Let me know if you have at least one of the 3 tanks we're going to have to use these amazing rares, because I do not believe that we can do it with Radiant. Radiant just doesn't have any of those debuffs that we talked about. And then Necrosis doesn't either. All they're doing is doing summons. Although they've got some amazing epics, we could make it work. I'm not saying we can't, but the easiest with the most rares that are going to kill it are the 2 lightning and poison that we talked about. Here, no good. No good. They don't have the debuffs either. Frost is always doing Frost. They're doing AoE. They don't have the necessary things we need to take out the bosses. Now, Flame does. Fire has a lot of good stuff. We got Adolphus in here. We've got Horus. We've got Dane to remove buffs if he's scrolled. We've got her to remove buffs at 100% if she's scrolled. And we've got Brody to remove shields. We've got Tonal Nan with amazing single target damage. Isolde with decreased attack along with shields, negating some damage. She's really strong too. And then we've got some really good decent ones in here. She's a cool tank, but we've already got Horus. Zadie's amazing for removing a buff or knocking back the ultimate gauge. We've got a lot of play that we can do with them, but they are together with this, which Adri is great, Fitz is great, Megan is great. So we might be able to pull something off, but I don't think they have the decreased attack. I don't think they have the heal block. They don't have all that kind of stuff we need. So that's it. Lightning and poison. You guys let me know if that's okay with you. Let me know if you think that's right as far as free to play and tackling everything we're going to face. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate your time. Let me know how excited you are about season 2. I will see you all in a video soon.